Can you see the presentation?
We can, and it looks great.
Okay, perfect. So my presentation is it's all about actually the awareness of researcher and people working in an institutional an institution of working in astrophysics, both for academic studies and research itself, but also as public engagement officers and educators. And I have got a degree in astrophysics and a specialization in radio astronomy in particular, but then I got some schools and some studies in trying to specialize my skills and to find new competencies and skills about public engagement and astronomy education in particular. I am the officer for equity and access to culture at the Office of Astronomy for Education at the International Astronomical Union, the Italian Center of the Office of Astronomy for Education. And the work I will present to you today, as I said, is something more about self-awareness that researchers and operators that work in the astrophysics field can improve and find in their work, trying to spread astronomy in schools and with the public. So we started this job there's a big group collaborating at the work that I'm presenting here, and you can find the names of the people working at this project, and we all are from the Italian National Institute for Astrophysics. And this work is about the equity and inclusion for schools and society. And this is a list of resources that were published last year in the EduINAF, which is the Italian magazine, the magazine of the Italian National Institute for Astrophysics, that addresses to school and society. You can see the logo here on the right in my presentation. Is a blue circle with EduINAF wrote on it. And this magazine has opened the inclusive education section, in which the works carried out by INAF researchers and technologists in this area are presented and analyzed, and in which news and in-depth studies are periodically presented, also resulting from our collaboration with national and international experts, institutions and organizations. Here I say that beyond analyzing the presented issue, we propose the educational activities and methodologies to be used by teachers in order to propose, face, and deal with the specific matter in their classes. And here, sorry. Okay. This section has become recently a focus on inclusive education, and here I have a picture of some radio astronomical antennas, dishes, which are very colored, and they represent diverse ways of looking at the skies, not only by the diverse colors, but also by the fact that they look at the non-visible electromagnetic waves. These are all images that are very only like picturing what I'm saying, but they're not conveying any content. So they are only something artistic. As I said, this section has become a focus, the session about the inclusion in astronomy, and this focus includes accessible and suitable activities to be used in schools of all levels, some considerations on equity and diversity issues, and review on progresses and improvements in the research field about equity and diversity in astronomy outreach and education, also at a national and an international level. And the first issue of our series that I will talk about today was about sensory impairments. And in this issue, we talked about the exhibition Inspiring Stars, to which our institute has participated with an exhibit called Sense the Universe. We presented in the magazine this exhibition through videos that go as a virtual tour of the exhibition and explain all the diverse, all the different resources and activities and exhibits that are available in this exhibition, which is now hosted by Italy and Cagliari in specific, which is in Sardinia, an Italian island. We prepared two videos. The first one was to tell about the original idea of the exhibition, its meaning and first stages in the world tour, and then one to present the exhibitions presented into Inspiring Stars and activities that were designed to increase the possibilities to access information about astronomy for individuals with sensory difficulties and with sensory difficulties. The second issue that I would talk about that was published in the magazine was about storytelling, since we desired to explain how we think storytelling can be inclusive and can be helping in fostering inclusion of also people that have different kind of difficulties in relating to others, both because they have language difficulties or maybe perhaps they have personal histories that make them that give them some problems in relating to others, and so we presented how storytelling through also some specific activities can be helpful in this regard, with these regards. And we said that it may happen that the narrative that we used in our storytelling activities also becomes a powerful tool to overcome prejudice and fears, to estrange oneself, from one's own experience and from one's difficulties, as I was trying to say before. And it may even happen that listening and building stories prove to be an effective way of facilitating interaction and confrontation in difficult and delicate contexts. Thus, our stories that speak of astronomy, space, and distant and different worlds of men and women who have committed their lives to study and research can become new horizon of reality for everyone. So that's why storytelling was a very important inclusive tool, according to us. About storytelling in this issue, we collected and told about some experiences of using storytelling for equity and inclusion, and the two stories told in this issue concern activities with minors in prisons, one in the Juvenile Penal Institute in Milan and Bologna, and the one in Sardinia. The first story is about the birth of the young. One story is about the birth of the young and curious character of Martina Tremenda, born to use storytelling in also in order also to deal with gender stereotype. And finally, some astronomy stories written for the Kamishibai Theater were presented, talking about different cultures. And here again, we have a picture, an artistic picture showing a man in prison that is losing the stripes of his costume, of his suit, because of reading a book. About gender issues, this is, according to us, a very delicate issue, according to everybody, I guess, but it's something that we distinguished into talking about it in an explicit way, in the sense that we present how women enter science, how science thought about women in the past, and how the role of women in science this has been difficult for different reasons, but also we try to talk about different ideas and in different ways in which feeling discomforts about the gender, which is not only about women, but all the community and all the LGBTQ plus community can be something that it's also taken on the implicit in some implicit ways, trying to understand why we create our let's say self-censor, because we feel uncomfortable and we feel like we have not the right to express ourselves. So in the explicit way, we try to organize and present some events talking about women and science in Italy. This is very important, and it's always organized on the 11th of February, which is the International Day for Girls and Women in Science. And also in the inclusive section of the magazine, we published a series of consideration about the way gender issues have entered the scientific and technological fields, and some useful resources for education. Sign language. There was the 4th issue of the magazine. Sign language, I say here that it arises from the need of communities of the people to communicate with each other and with others. Here on the left, on the screen, on the presentation, we have the symbol of actually ASL, the American Sign Language, even if in Italian we have a different language. All countries have different sign languages. And above a background of stars and an image of the universe in false colors. Like all natural languages, sign languages are linked to their tradition and cultures, and the strong iconicity of sign languages makes them very interesting, according to us, also from the point of view of communication and didactics and the education of astronomy for all. The signs used for astronomical concepts and objects often express the meaning and nature of what is represented, much more than a single word in the spoken language does. We have prepared a series of videos that show how some words, some signs are related to the concept that as I said, and how they are related to the spoken language word. And we asked an amateur astronomer and Italian Sign Language trainer to show the Italian Sign Language signs for the words moon, sun, stars, and solar system, and to explain the reason of the specific way of signing. And the feature are the videos, according to our idea, we're about to feature Italian Sign Language in the foreground. In the foreground, there's a main character, and they are subtitled in Italian for every other. I don't know if the video starts, but perhaps no, it is not visible. Anyway. The 5th issue of the magazine was about interculturality. As you can see, this was according to our idea an overview of how much diversity can enter our work, both as researchers and as communicators. And in the offer that we prepared, in the educational offer, the educational path that we prepared for the month of April, we talked about interculturality, and the title of this issue was Under the Same Sky, and it was looked after by the working group for equity and inclusion in our institute. We decided to talk about this, presenting some of the activities that can foster the idea of how interculturality and multiculturality is important in our both outreach and education activities. And then we chose the Global Local Project, which is a project presenting the sphere of the Earth as the global, I mean our planet as something that can be disconnected from the support, sorry, I say that it can be, let's say, liberated, can be freed by its support, and then can become something that it's very customizable. Let's say, if we live in some place of the world, we can put that place at the top of it, in order also to understand how observed phenomena in the sun, or also seasons, or also all things that we experience in our daily life can be related to our position on the Earth. And then we prepared an activity about the use of stellarium to see how the sky appears from any position of the Earth, and how constellations look like elsewhere. And also we prepared a game using debate based on the model of the game Play Decide, in the framework of the design and building of big astronomical infrastructures, in which discussion is used as a tool to raise awareness for others' point of views and necessities. And then also the last activity was the use of shadow theater to tell stories about constellations and cultures. And this was all. Sorry for being a bit, confused in my presentation about, finding the right words, but I hope everything was clear anyway.
It was very clear. Thank you so much for a fantastic presentation.